Am I telling you not to be baptized? No. I'm telling you, if you're a believer, you need to be baptized. I look through the New Testament. I know the thief on the cross is there. He's like the exception to the rule. But the rule is in the scriptures is that if somebody believes, they're baptized. It's as though when you go through the New Testament, you don't know of a Christian who is a believer and not baptized. Because every believer that you see in the New Testament, you pretty much see them get baptized, so to speak. So I'm telling you, it's really important. But I also want to say that baptism does not save you. Peter makes that clear in 1 Peter 3. It's not the washing away of the filth of the flesh that saves you when you go into water and you're baptized. It's that gracious work of God where you appeal to Him for a good conscience through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's what Peter says in 1 Peter 3. It's not the washing away of dirt via physical water. It's the washing clean of your conscience via appealing to God for it through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So baptism is really important. Is observing the commandments of God really important? Yes, it is really important. It's part of the way you know that you're saved, but you're not attaining or meriting or earning your salvation through doing those things. The gospel isn't you can be saved by observing commandments, getting baptized, and believing in Jesus. The gospel that Paul preached is that through this man is preached to you the forgiveness of sins, and by him everyone who believes is justified. But today, I think a lot of people, even in the Christian world, don't realize the significance of the doctrine of justification by faith alone. And they want to be so ecumenical and so loving to say, look, people have different faith traditions, as they call it, right? Some people Eastern Orthodoxy, some people are Roman Catholic, some people are Protestant. There's just all different faith traditions. And what I want you to see is that it's rather serious when you start moving away from the doctrine of justification by faith alone. It has eternal significance tied to it, eternal consequences to add works to faith. Paul actually called this another gospel. If you look at Galatians chapter 1, verses 6 and 7. It wasn't a matter of preaching a different Jesus, a created being versus the uncreated Son of God. It wasn't a matter of preaching a different narrative, like he didn't die on the cross and he didn't rise from the grave. That's not what Paul called a different gospel in Galatians chapter 1. What Paul called a different gospel is looking at that same Jesus, the Son of God, who died on the cross, who rose from the grave, and then saying, but it's not good enough. Having begun in the Spirit, we need to be made perfect in the flesh. Having begun in the Spirit, we know that the only way we're going to really attain salvation is through circumcision and law-keeping. He called it another gospel. He said, everyone who preaches that kind of gospel, he said, let them be accursed. It was that serious. Paul, throughout his ministry, would labor to show that justification, or more broadly, salvation, was by faith.